Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Closet. I'm Jennifer. Hope you're all doing well today. Well, thank you for joining me once again. I do appreciate you spending the time to hear what I have to say. And just want to say welcome to the new subscribers and welcome back to my older subscribers. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Yeah, let's see. A couple of things that I wanted to talk about. We've been having an awesome time this month at my church. The month of July has been just phenomenal. It's our church's 20th anniversary, and so it's just been an awesome and just unspeakable, magnificent time. So I just want to, let that be known, and thank God that I'm here to celebrate that time. I'm gonna do a future video about the month of July and just kind of recap what I experienced, in my own little way, and just my contribution on my YouTube channel, what I have to share. So stay tuned for that. Today I'm actually wearing this jumper, and I am liking it. It's comfortable, zipper in the front, it has pockets here in the back, two front pockets here. So that's also always a comfort thing, when you have pockets on your clothing, it keeps your hands kind of relaxed, in a relaxed state. But it's just comfortable to have pockets. I am wearing some flip-flops today, and just for comfort, but just to show what I'm wearing today. So I went to Hobby Lobby with my daughter. I was looking for some little knickknacks, things. And while I was there, of course, your eyes stray all over, and I saw some little trinkets that they have, and they just have every little thing, to catch your eyes. So I was looking at some, what were these? Keychains. Yeah, they were keychains, but I was looking at using the keychain, to do something different, to make earrings, or to put on a chain, an actual chain. And then I thought about it. I said, you know what, maybe Amazon will probably have it a little cheaper. But they did not. But I did go on Amazon. I was looking, and then I saw, they have like earrings and all those things. So I was like, wow, gave me some ideas. So I did see one. Of course, they have a lot of different styles with the sewing machine, in the form of the earrings, keychains, and all that. And then I saw one, they had a pair of bobbins, for the earrings. And I was like, cute. I could probably do that. And the one that I saw, they were metal. They looked like metals, They sure weren't the see-through ones. But these are the ones that I have. So I am going to get myself a pair of the metal ones. Hopefully they won't be so heavy, and transform them myself into earrings. And another thing that I saw that they had online were buttons. So they used buttons and for earrings. So I thought about some buttons that I'd bought from Hobby Lobby, maybe about sometime in last year. So I used my button, and then I have some earring backs that I used. I pushed it in the back of the button and made a pair of earrings. Isn't that just so innovative? So yeah, just an idea, guys. So I will be trying to be creative and make some earrings out of some bobbins. Like I said, hopefully they won't be too heavy. And I'll probably continue looking for more buttons that I could use to make some more earrings. But just wanted to share that. I just thought that was so cool, and of course, we can do our own, right? But yeah, so you might have seen a video where I did an interview with my daughter for her business, Crochet with Chanel. And so she's been doing some community events. We've been doing classes. There's no charge for that as of right now. But she's doing classes. And so you can bring your projects and work on your projects. You can learn the basics of crocheting, starting off with making the chain and all that. She doesn't teach, but it's where, we come together, just to work together, like-minded, creative people coming together. If you have a project you want to work on, we fellowship, we, communicate, share thoughts, share ideas. So it's really a cool and safe environment to be, and at that point, you're cultivating that skill of crocheting. So I just really love it. And this was one of the projects that I was working on. I started working on this before her classes, but her classes kind of motivated me to finish this up. At first I was gonna make, I don't even know what I was gonna make. I just started crocheting and I said, maybe I'll do a blanket or something like that. But I bought this white part here at the base. I bought this from the dollar store. But while I was doing the crochet, I was realizing that the wool wasn't all that great, and so I stopped. And I'm trying to remember where. I think it was my daughter. Yeah, my daughter bought this. So this here that you see, the green, the blue, the purple, and the pink, is all on one skein. I believe they call the whole roll of crochet. This was all together. So I stopped wherever this ran out and just started, and this is what my finished product looks like. So I finished this up. I made the strap, and I still have some, actually, yeah, I think I still have some of the crochet thread left, coming to think of it. But I made the strap, and funny enough, while I was making the strap became, was all white at that point. So I got an all white strap. And then what I did was to crochet the side together. So, when I closed it up, I crocheted on the side here to close it up. I crocheted here to attach the strap. So I did crochet, there on the bag. Then I thought about it, got some shoelace and ran it through so I could do a drawstring. And then I went ahead and lined the bag. So that's the lining. And so, yeah, I was inspired to finish this up based on, my daughter's classes that she offers for her community contribution. But, yeah, she loves it. She's inspired as well. And this can be like a finished project that I'll take to future classes, just to show others what, I did and you know, they can copy if they so desire to. Yeah, but I love the bag. You know, it can be used for whatever. Nothing too heavy though, you know, because you know it's fabric. It's a little delicate, you know, but you know, you can throw your purse, your glasses, um, you know, your little makeup, any little thing. And the great thing about it is it's machine washable, right? So, or you know what? Maybe I wouldn't put it in the machine, coming to think of it, because of this part here as well. You know, it wasn't the best quality wool. So I'd probably just hand wash this, you know. Either way, with crochet, you may have to be careful with putting it in the machine because you don't want the shape of it, you know, distorted. So, when I decided to show this, I looked around and I said, wait a minute, because you know, oh, I did that video the other day showing how I made the bag, this one. I don't know if you saw that video, you know, where I showed I made this one. Look what I did. I added a button because I was gonna do some of those stud things, you know, the snap thingies where you snap it shut. But I decided to do this instead. So I just made this little hook here, so this nice big button on, and so I did that instead, right? And remember this, you know, it has those pockets here, and really I did the front or the back, whichever way you want to, you know, carry this, but this was really made to turn this way, and so the pattern would show on this side. And of course here, you know, it's just in case this fabric rubs, you know, this protects that from happening. All right, but this is my other bag, and so I am getting better at making my bags. Of course, this one does have you know, the foundation at the bottom of the bag to where it makes it a little, you know, broader, more support. And then I went on and made this one most recently after I made that one there. So same, you know, kind of concept, but this one I did make some others, but I'll show you those. But this one is my most recent. I put that snap there and my lining there, and I did not have enough fabric left to make my bag. So what I did was to, oops, hold on one second. I used this ribbon. I had some pieces cut out. I got a piece of white satin, and then I sewed the white satin piece down, and then sewed the ribbon, this ribbon here, on top of it. And that's how I got the handle for this one. Yeah, so I was just trying to be creative with that one, and it matches, you know, this black and white in the bag. So I'm not sure if you saw the video where I spoke about some of my fabrics that I've had since New York over 20 years ago. This is one of the fabric that I used. And see, this fabric is still so beautiful to me. right? So that's just, like I said, a way to be innovative, be creative. All right. All right, so then I started looking at all the pocketbooks that I handmade. Of course, the crochet, then, we have the burlap one, and then this black and white one. And this is one that I'd made before. Trying to remember how long ago, but I do have the snap on this one. And this one has the lining also. Okay, but I'd made this one, like I said, a while back. Was it sometime last year? I want to say possibly sometime last year. So I had enough fabric, made the handle, this little ruffle thing, ribbon, I bought a while back from Hobby Lobby, and I decided to, just put it on the edge of the pocketbook, just to give it some style. Okay, so if you notice this one here, this is just, the bucket look. Did I call it bucket? I think it's called the bucket shaped bag. All right. This one, when I started making it, it just, came to mind, go ahead and do a flap. All right. So I did this one with a flap and used up the rest of the ribbon on, the front of that flap. So this is a little different. And these are some cute little bags for maybe, teenage girls. I mean, I would wear it. They're nice little bags for, any little occasion. All right. And then this was one of my first beginner bags when I started out, kind of making more detailed bags, more stylish bags. So these were jeans. I cut the jeans and made it into a bag. I used the seam of the jeans and cut it out for the handle. And then I love this. You might have seen me use this before, this ribbon here. And I just looped it through the loops and made a little knot, little design, some kind of style thingy in the front. And these are the back pockets. All right. I do have the bottom of the bag. There. Okay. And so I am now inspired to make more. All right, so let me know what you think about these bags. But I'm having a collection right now. So I have this one. I actually have another jeans bag that I'd made, but I'm going to make that a little better, because when I first started out, I was sewing my linings. I was sewing them down on the inside. So I attached it to the bag itself, So these were a little different. I was trying to get the concept, but in my head, and what I kind of I guess adapted before, was to sew the bag and the lining together, which is one way you can do it. But the way that I am doing it now is better, from what I learned recently. I watched online and all that, but this way, is a lot easier than doing all that sewing, And there's a way that you could probably even turn this. Let me see something. Just trying to see if this will make a difference. But yeah, you could probably turn this inside out, depending on if this here, the handle is sewn neatly or hidden on the inside. But no one can really tell unless they're coming up close inspecting your bag that you have it on the inside out. But yeah, could probably do it like that and get two looks out of one bag, right? So just wanted to share that with you. I do want to, like I say, make some more bags, just to see if I do have a market, because there are times like, my daughter and I will do some vendor opportunities, if there's some kind of a marketing or market or stuff like that that's in the neighborhood, or an event at our church, we have an opportunity to showcase some of our handmade items, and so that's been a blessing. But like I said, just wanted to share that with you guys, and yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Like I said, gonna try to collaborate all of my experience for the month of July with my church's 20th anniversary. You guys like, share, make comments. Like I said, I appreciate you guys watching. Please help to grow my channel if you like my content. I'm loving my content. I'm really enjoying, sharing these ideas, these thoughts and stuff like that with the world. And so I would really love for my channel to stay up. You guys inspire me, even though there are not many comments, but just, to see the views, whether it be one person watching or 1,000 people watching, and by the way, that's the number that I need to get monetized. So work with me. Thank you. But yeah, whether it's one person watching or 1,000 people, I am inspired to know that someone took the time, to actually watch the video, and I am hoping that the video also inspires, you guys. All right, so stay tuned, and you guys will see me in the next video. Bye.